Hi, beautiful souls. Just walking around the field, and in the evenings there's this very tall nettle, taller than me, and it's always in my path, threatening to barb me if I am not present and aware that it's there. And yet in the mornings it's gone, it's not there. I think to myself this morning, what has gone on with that nettle? Because last night, very much in your face. Today, nowhere to be seen. And I was like, haha. So, like we have to rest and recuperate at night after a long day or a short day, whatever day we've had, we still need to take time to nurture ourselves with some rest, some sleep. And the nettle and the plants and trees and everything else at night time takes time to recoup itself in the same way. The nettle being out there baking in the heat, depleted of water, and then in the night the cool air, being able to regain its strength and composure and stand tall once again. So it was, to me, it was like a lovely way of seeing things through nature. I see so much through nature. I love it. I love the way how nature talks to me. And of course it becomes more and more apparent the more I'm out in it, the more I'm actually out away from, the towns, the cities, and where there's very little greenery. Although when I lived in London, I was very fortunate that I did live in a lot of places where there was a lot of green. And even though I wasn't an avid swimmer then, I did used to take myself down to Hampstead Ponds and swim there. So what I wanted to talk about today was how nurturing ourselves is something that, it's not something that, it's funny, when I was in restaurant industry, I thought I was like unstoppable, and I used to say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, and then rush around and do crazy hours. And I thought that everybody needed me because I was so on point and hardworking and all of this crazy malarkey we put in our minds. And of course it's just such a layer. We build layers upon ourselves, and when we build the layers, it's because it's easier to do that than actually to actually come back to who we really are and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and just be as we are. Yes, so I used to always say, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I don't need much sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I used to say that all the time. I used to think that was a clever quote. And now I just think to myself, oh, dear thing, what were you thinking? You do need your rest. Everybody needs their rest. What were you thinking? Everything I feel, certainly in my experience, is that the adults that we are generally based on the way that we have grown up and how we've lived our early years, and that's what shaped us. And if we haven't dealt with those things, then they'll come up louder and clearer in adult life until we have resolved them. And you can't resolve everything at once. It's a process that we all go through. Some people take the process with awareness and some don't. I think the greatest thing that anyone can do whilst they're here is to remember, to awaken, to remember their soul, some reason for being here, and that is just to be aware. Really, I'm aware. I'm present. I'm here. Here I am right now, aware to take naps, aware to eat good food, present, being here right now, aware, listening to what that person is saying to me right now, right here, right now. There's this lovely book, one of my favourite books in fact, by Aldous Huxley, called The Island. And in the book, these funny birds, they shout out, "Attention, attention, attention," throughout the day, which is a reminder to be present. And when I first read that, thanks to my friend Igor, who gave me the book as a present back in our Tibbets days, which was, I don't know, quite a while back now. And when I read it, I was just like, this is magic. So there's something so magical about reading a really good book. It's like it really just speaks to you. And I find mostly it's through the stories that I learn the most. Not only like the stories that I adventure through my own life, or by witness of other people's lives, but also through the stories that I read and that strike me as being really meaningful. Yesterday I was sharing a story with a dear friend, and it comes from a CD that I have had in my car for years. It's Mark Nepo's experience of when he had cancer and his wife had cancer, and it wasn't looking great, to tell you the truth. And they did not spare any well, let's just say they included some graphic detail. So when I first was given this CD by my youngest sister and her wife, I listened to a bit and I was like, God damn it, I'm not listening to any more of this. This is far too much for me, my sensitive sense of sensibilities. So I put it down back in the car. My car has like a library in it, and I thought I'd leave that for another time. Well, years later, this other time has arisen, and I've been listening to him, and I just think, oh my God, this is beautiful. How did I not see the beauty in this before? How did I not see the message in this before? And there's this one bit that I just want to share, and that was this woman, and he's observing this woman in this, I don't know, in the chemotherapy ward or something like that, and she's saying to the doctor, how do I stop the fearful thoughts from coming through? How do I stop the fearful thoughts from coming through? And he turns to her and he says, how does the wind stop the trees? And then just walks away. And that to me is just like, oh God, man, that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. That's just so beautiful. And I mean, I don't even need to explain that to you, because you can feel that one for yourselves, but life is just so magical. And whilst I walk around this tree, breathing with all that is, observing the messages in nature, the very tall stinging nettles that were here last night and standing proud again this morning, I'm just so thankful for it all, really thankful for it all. And I wish you all a very beautiful and joyful day. God bless you. Peace and love.